And I'm also firsthand witness because a few weeks ago, my first cousin who didn't have underlying condition died of COVID. And I'm also blessed you with others, man. But now this is for I wanted to know like people who work in healthcare, why a day refuse to take a rest. So I'm only speaking for my state. I just look at all the United States. I just know in New York State, there's 450,000 medical professionals who don't take the vaccine, and they give a lot of different ingredients. Some of them know the pharmaceutical company that's involved, such as Pfizer, goes through lawsuits. And it's interesting that one of the cases, one of the people that was part of it was one of the people that's running Johns Hopkins University. And when we start looking at COVID, we all looked at Johns Hopkins University to see the numbers spreading. And, you know, that just gives those people a red flag. That's one part. The other part is they say that they're going to have their freedom. We taught when everybody has to be at work or home, we can live our lives. And now now you're telling me that I'm going to do more fight. So that's the other part. And then I don't know, there's some conspiracy shit with the other. Then they said that they found that the people with best education, meaning the nurses are the ones who don't want to do it. Then they found that one of the physicians who have high education don't want to do it. Then they found some kind of 0.1 doctors. So I don't know. I went to school, I understand or have some courses in biology. Because you know you have to specialize in biology in this industry. But you know, just because you're a doctor don't mean you're a specialist in biology. I think a lot of people know that. So
we about to go live on Instagram. Y'all know there's another world over here. I don't know if y'all ready. That's how this is. All right. Moving on. Got shout out to Fresca Bar over there. Got Knowledge Born, Light Visible, Kasim Shabazz, BC Realm, Waju, Malik Lowe, 793rd. You know, I was just checking out. My boy had a little installment going on over there. They're discussing the vaccine. You know what I mean? They can discuss it all they want to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking it. You know, you see, the thing that I keep trying to get across to people, right, is that this is not new for me. I got sincere all in the business. This is not new for me. Like I first, you know, my children have no vaccines. To the point where I just got informed, you know, I was actually speaking to my daughter and she was saying that when she got to college, that she had to start filing some kind of religious exemption. She said she just kept filing a religious exemption. I was like, look, you're not on the religious exemption. You know, we got our own family exemption that's what you go by. You know what I'm saying? And at first she was like, nah, I'm trying to keep filing paper. And then she was like, Yeah, you know something? It was other people that tried to file that paperwork, right? But what it was is that they took the vaccines before, so you couldn't file it now. But because she never took it, right? They got to stick with that precedent. So I'm just it's not something new. Like I'm not all of a sudden now because it's a new thing or yeah, all of that got to do with it. But I already wasn't taking that. You didn't see me taking aspirin and none of that. So I'm not worried. And I'm not going easy. Not taking a shot, and I'm not going easy. So the best bet is probably just leave me alone. Like Visible said, no vaccine here either. They can threaten my job all they want. We know the science of incentives more than our own original state of existence. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, uh, the ultimate level, that I've seen coming is you know, you say your man's took it, who's your man's? LeBron took it. I mean, people that take it, right? I'm not judging. Like right now, you know, when it comes to this right here, I'm like boys in the hood. You know what I mean? The scene when Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding and all of them is in the whip and they like, look, saying, look, we know what this is. You understand what I'm saying? So look, if you want to jump out the whip, go ahead, jump out right now, son. Like where we going, it's about to be real. You understand what I'm saying? So for the people that's not prepared, you know what I'm saying? There's fortified and royal elements, 15,107. Peace. Welcome to the channel. Uh, you know, uh, it's subscribe button, if you like some of the stuff you hear. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you want to get out the whip, get out the whip. Son. Because look, it could get real. Like, see, look, when they had the little press conference, and I seen where, or maybe I read it, I'm not sure, but I saw somewhere Biden said, look, this is not about your freedoms. Now, I could be overreacting. I always tell y'all, if y'all see me overreacting, let me know. But see, see, that translates, where I'm from, that translates, right? When somebody say, look, this is not about your freedom. See, that translates to, don't make me have to fuck you up. See, all this different stuff was going on, the trials and tribulations, you gotta be prepared. See, that you gotta, sometimes, man, all the time, it's better to have understanding than be understood. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to respect that this is the same kind of thing. This is the same kind of thing from when the law was sending certain people back to the mosque. You ain't prepared for this right here and what might come. See, like just now when I was talking about the vaccines with my daughter, right? See, that really, the way the precedent got established really was from them trying to, uh, basically all on my school record is marked that I'm 5%. Like everywhere where I'm in, where I go, right? It's showing my files. See what I'm saying? And so, like I said, this was a board of education thing where I had to go down there. So when I went down there, and I told her, you check the files. Like it's certain things that's been my way of life. I'm on file for doing certain things and not doing certain things. But see, even though they was trying to do that, right, so they could catch me up, I made that work for me. So, right now it's that same type of situation where like, look, if you're not ready, right? Because see, they preserve, how they got the levels of hell. It says it's all levels of hell. So they preserve that worst level of hell for motherfuckers walking around talking about they God. See, that's in any place where you go, where you dealing with the colored man. See, if you show them that you're powerful in this cipher, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, see, they're gonna try to break you. So if you come in there saying that you God, they're gonna try to break you. See, some of the things that, the first brothers had to go through, just because you was somebody with this knowledge. It can come that time right now. You understand what I'm saying? And so the people that's not ready, we want them to go. We want them to go where they feel safe and secure. We don't want them out here. We don't want them out here where shit might get real. We don't need no weak links. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, he already put the word out. Don't make me have to hurt you. Look, you're going to have to hurt me. That's how it is. You're going to have to hurt me. Because I ain't taking it, and I'm not going down there with you. Wherever is the place where you got designated, where you're going to end up putting the people who continue to not comply, you better send Haas. You better send the New York Giants offensive line or somewhere about the equivalent of that. But we got the people in here right now, so we can get into the title of today's civilization class. Deserts, hills and mountains, frozen land, and fertile land, right? And particularly, right? In particular, I want to look at these, right, as states of mind of the people that you're dealing with. Not the hard on brothers, but I harp on brothers. That's how it is. The last couple of lives, since we've introduced Instagram, since we've introduced Add a Large Fruit to the civilization classes and the live streams, right? We had a few different people, what I'm saying, come in, where we could tell they might have been in a little bit different state of mind than the random Jews, random Jews network is accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? And so, and this is also something, man, for the brothers that's coming in, right? As you're going out there and teaching, as you're going out there and teaching, and you're dealing with different people, right? These different mindsets, right? You can look at these different categories right here: deserts, hills, mountains, frozen land, and fertile land, right? And use that to draw up something about the people that you're dealing with. My Gurkha said the deserts on Earth are growing faster and hotter than ever in recorded history. I mean, I'm sure there's some phenomena to that, you know. But uh, one of the differences, right, that you see with these different what do you call these different, land geographies or whatever. I'm not sure what's the proper word, but these categories, right, of land right here. One of the differences that you see in them is the state of the water. You see, these is the people sometimes that you're dealing with, right? And when you manifesting your wisdom to them, right? Sometimes the people you could look at these categories right here and see how the people is reacting. See, like the deserts, they don't have no wisdom. They don't have any of the wisdom. This is a person that, you're pouring your wisdom on. You're manifesting your wisdom because the land is not prepared to absorb it. Eventually, if you keep pouring water on it, see, hills and mountains, that's a situation where, you're dealing with somebody who, of course, hills and mountains, trials and tribulations. But when you pour your water on the mountain, it runs right off. See, so this is somebody that you building with, and they got hard head. You tell them stuff, and they're hearing it, and it's going in one ear and right out the other. You got people with, their mind state is frozen. And they frozen right there where they at. They don't even have the ability, the water is not in a state of flow. So, even whatever wisdom they got is not kinetic. They're not going to be able to use what it is that, the wisdom that you give them. And then you have the fertile land, right? You have the useful land that is prepared, right, to absorb the water, right, and use it to promote life. So see, saying that, dealing with going into the signs, of the lives that we've been having and the different people, well, it's not even a couple people, but the couple people that we've seen come on. And when you're trying to build with them, I mean, some things, peace, raise an image, some things, we on the live stream or whatever, So it's entertaining. But I'm saying in life, sometimes you gotta know which one of these ones that you're dealing with. See, just like everybody that we dealing with, right? They haven't made their home on the planet Earth. And see, some people is out there on a mission to explore galaxies that, is yet unknown. They're on a 4-year mission. You see, for those people, right? Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. So it takes light 500 seconds or 8 minutes 20 seconds to reach the planet Earth. You see, for those individuals, right, that's on a 4-year mission, that's not on the planet Earth, right? You out there being a Plutonian. See, light takes a whole other degree of time to get there. So see, these is different, mindsets of people that you're dealing with. So see, sometimes, like I said, we on the live or whatever, we go through certain things, right? But in life, man, you don't want to get caught up with these people. So sometimes, you gotta look at that, like, all right, I know that this person right here is frozen, in a Christianity. Now you can present them with all the knowledge and wisdom, but they frozen in that fear, that God-fearing state. So see, what you could do, right, is you hit them with the wisdom, right? And then you gotta keep it moving. So you gotta give the wisdom a chance to do his job sometimes. See, some people you're gonna speak to, and they may agree in 30 seconds, but then their word might not be one. See, now another person, it may take them 2 weeks to agree. You see, once they agree, they gonna live it out. So, all the different, in your endeavors, when you out there teaching, when you out there dealing with different people, right? You gotta understand that, it's not, yeah, it's represented right there. Who's the 10%, who's the 85%, who's the 5%. But there's also other things all throughout 120 lesson that's telling you about the mentalities of the people that you're dealing with. Just like I said, when you look at it and you see the mentalities and personality traits of Yakub or Musa or any of the people that the players in 120 lessons. Those are also different mentalities, right? That we come across every day. You see what I'm saying? Because see, people like to think they're unique and different and all that. I understand. You got people that want to spell their name all kinds of funny ways so they can show that they're unique. But see, it's not really all that much uniqueness. It's really not. Because see, if it was, right, then the Bible wouldn't still be applicable today. You wouldn't have books, not just the Bible, but I'm saying, different fables, the Greek, we call those the Greek mythologies and all the stories, that have, what they call the archetype characteristics or whatever, right? Why do they still apply thousands of years later? You know what I'm saying? Why, can we, look at the hieroglyphics and see certain things playing out, that we still see playing out right now. That's because it ain't as much, originality as people think. But see, what it is things be original to you as an individual. Like when I was a kid, right? Like I never saw anybody do that, right? But I figured out how to use the chair to go in the cabinet, to get, where the cookies and different shit was at, right? Now, when I did that, I thought I invented that. Like at the time, I thought I was the first kid that ever outsmarted my parents to go in there, to and get to the stuff. So I was hiding the shit for a minute. I didn't want them to know that I knew how to do that, because then they might move the cookies someplace else. So I had my little ploy going on for a minute, and then one day I happened to be going in the cabinet, and my mom's comes out of the back, right? So she says, "Yo, look, turn the chair the other way, because then in case if you slip, right, you could just jump back instead of you falling over the back part of the chair with out of control." Now I didn't even see her coming, so when she said that, I'm like, "Oh shit, busted." But then when I thought about what she told me, I was like, "Wait a minute, you know about this too?" So see, that's where people think, oh, you tell somebody, oh, nah. See, it's a whole other part of my story. I gotta tell you, you don't understand. You don't understand. One day we gotta sit down. We gotta talk. No, we don't. No. And so, like I said, being able to know, so because, we don't go around studying other people. That's not what we do. But see, once we know ourselves, right? And, we know the science of everything in existence. We know who's the 85%, who's the 10%, right? Who's the 5%? We know what is the real devil, right? We know who is the original man, we know all these things. Yeah, we first have to focus on ourselves, because now once we can identify ourselves in there, now we can start to get a gauge on who all the other people is. And knowing how to deal with those different people correctly and at the right time, in the correct season, can save your life. It can be the difference between life and death. And this is where the answer is, what I'm saying, for a lot of the younger brothers that come on, y'all like, y'all got different people that y'all building with, right? And you might be wondering why this person is not accepting the knowledge. It's because their mindset is in one of these characteristics, right, that's not conducive to you absorbing the knowledge. See, for the people that know 120, but as you get on in your lessons, right, and you get to the 19th degree in the 140, right, you learn that the teacher has a duty, right, and the student has a duty. See, because we do our duty and we go out here and teach, but one only learns what one teaches self. See, teaching is the same kind of thing like give and take. You know, you can't really give unless somebody take. You can't really teach unless somebody learn. But sometimes you gotta realize how everybody learns. You know what I'm saying? You know, see what I'm saying is don't sit there and beat a person in the head. You're not gonna get your point across, you know what I'm saying, by trying to coerce them, whether you trying to coerce them with money or whether you trying to coerce them with facts. Or we doing a damn thing. We doing a damn thing today. Everyone, the brothers over here on Instagram, I want everybody to recognize we got a thumbs down. Can y'all say big time YouTuber? Can y'all say big time YouTube? We haven't gotten the thumbs down. I was wondering where's the love. I was wondering where's the love for a minute, man. We must be getting loose. Let's see if we can get two. Let's see if we get two by the end of the live. After that, they might as well look. If I get 3 thumbs down, they might as well put me on Netflix or something. They might as well give me a Netflix special. Put me on Versus. Put me on Versus or something. Uh-oh. We up to 2. 2. Hey, listen, where's the count right now? Can you count them? 1, 2 thumbs down. 2 thumbs down. See, now we teaching. Now we teaching. Yeah, I got 2. Listen. Man, see somebody flaked out, took their thumbs down back, man. That's how y'all show love. Give me a thumbs down and take it back. You Indian giver. You Indian giver. See, I see what happened. Y'all wanted to put the city signs. Y'all want to put the city signs. Y'all was ready for that segment right now. Melchizedek Salam. Quite a name. Peace, Melchizedek. You're not the Melchizedek with the copies of 120 that you sell on Amazon, are you? Can't get thumbs down, man. Nobody's even been upset with me, for having the name Allah, man. I understand. I don't understand what's going on with the world now, man. Get a little bit crazy. But yeah, with all these things right here, that's how you become successful. Is knowing who you're dealing with. See, other things, look, doctors, ministers, nurses, cremators. 4 devils. The devil that's studying 35 to 50 years, and the devil that we learn cannot be reformed. Jesus all the things that you got to look at. Now, we're going to take it now, right? Let's look at it mathematically, right? In terms of how I drew this up right here. And then when you look at it and you see the different mentalities of the people, right? So what I'm saying is mathematically, let's look at what degree tells you about the deserts. You got to do the knowledge. We are already on today's topic, Felix Almanzar. But what degree tells us about the deserts, right, is the 6th degree in actual facts. And it tells us that the deserts is 14 million square miles, right? The people that, we just coming in, right? 14, right? 14, what's the 14th degree? See, who is the 85%? So you realize that you're dealing with people, right, that don't have the wisdom. If they don't have the wisdom, of course, they don't have the knowledge. What degree tells you about hills and mountains? What degree tells you about the useful land? See, for those that know 140, right? I mean, that know the actual facts, and you know 120, really. See, because once you know the whole 120, then you could begin to cross-reference. See, cross-referencing is how you begin to, or it's one of the strategies to gain understanding. You understand what I mean? See, in some ways, like just then, we just ran through one that, you go through mathematics, right? And then you coincide them to different degrees. But in some ways, you have to cross-reference. Like when you look at the power degree in the 1 to 10, right? And then you take that to the power degree in the 140.
There you go. I heard this cigar.
You see what I'm saying? And then you take that.
Yeah, officer. Peace to God.
So then you take that, what are the exact square miles if you're doing what is actual miles? What is the total area in square miles of the planet Earth, right? And then you coincide that with how much is land and how much is water, right? And then you got to coincide that with how much is the Pacific Ocean, how much is the Atlantic Ocean, how much is the Indian Ocean, how much is the Arctic Ocean. That's one of the reasons why you got to know the whole 120 lessons. You see what I'm saying? Because 120 is like chess. It's not like checkers. See, 120, you have to know all the degrees. You in chess, you got to know how to move all the pieces. You can't just be real good with the queen. And see, all the pieces move in unique and different ways, right? But they all work together. all those different myriad combinations. But that's what life is. All different people that you're dealing with, all different events. And this is how, you could take the mathematics, right, and use it to analyze 120, right? And then bring it into your your everyday life. What I mean by that is, not the whatever amount of time we study our lesson. We don't spend 24 hours doing it. You gotta eat. But see, whatever you do when you go to eat, right? Are you still using supreme mathematics? Are you still putting all the steps in the proper order? Is word still bond? Are you still being who you said you was in the knowledge degree in the 1 to 10? See, that's another reason why you gotta realize, like I'm in the midst, right, where I'm in the desert right now. I'm in the atmosphere with all these people, their mindset, is uncivilized. Now that shows you how you have to, how you gotta activate this. This is something, see, I drew this up right here. This started Dumont YD. That's how he used to go through the lessons, but he only put the deserts. See, when he used to go through it, see what I left out is you got to start from why does the devil teach and keep our people illiterate? So you got to take that degree too when you coincide it with the other ones. But then once I saw how he manifested that, right, and show how, that can be symbolic to the mentalities of the people that you're dealing with, right? Then that's what I added on, is expanding it by seeing that, these other degrees, right, of what it's telling you, you see how to understand it adds on. See, he first dropped that jewel, which planted that seed, you understand what I mean? And then I continue to roll forward with that. The original Mr. 120 said also to understand the cipher degree in 136, if you're in a place where no one speaks your language, mathematics, you're in the desert. Yeah, well, that was, I'm not sure if it was on, but that's, exactly what I was saying, that, a person who's, the desert could be symbolic to their state of mind is somebody who doesn't have the wisdom. Because that's one of the differences between all these land, they're not land masses, they're, different categories of land, is the state of the water on it, and how they react to the water. The useful land is the most ready to absorb the water. So that's just, different people that you're dealing with. You can't get blood from a rock. So see, with all these things, see, it don't mean that the person can't learn or that you shouldn't take any time to teach them. right? But you have to, you got to be aware that, sometimes you just sitting there and you trying to get a person to see what you're saying, you really alienating. See, just like we say, knowledge is mental food. You have to give that a chance to digest. Brian 528, welcome to the channel. See, when you run into somebody that, their mind is fertile land, now this is a person you might be able to, you can keep hitting. Did I ever figure out if Kim was the last firstborn from Medina? What is the BG? There's Knowledge God. It could be it. Off the top of my head, that's all I can think about. Maybe Lord Justice is in the background, and maybe Lord Justice is in the background, and he can add on to that. But I think that's it. I think that's about it. We down to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? It's actually at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say that. You know what I'm saying? Ever since, you get the knowledge, you always hear that, yeah, it's gonna be a day, when we not here. But that day is really coming, this week right here, tomorrow is the service for the brother Ramel. You know what I'm saying? We spoke on, Ramel was the brother that, he wired the whole school. Like when it was the first fire, Ramel came in and wired all the electricity. So see, right now we doing this live. You see this light shining right here, computers on, all of that. Yeah, that's Ramel. He said the two brothers last night was they the first two borns of the medicine room. Now, listen, the medicine room is already at that level where you can't be the first. And I don't know how crazy you would have to talk to be the first from the medicine room. I don't know but clearly there's no shortage. There's no shortage of individuals. See, I told y'all what it is, man. They playing psychological games with people. They playing games with people's minds, and then the people's going crazy. Did we have any questions on what we built on so far. You know, I want to get everything out the way. Let's make sure everything is clear. Let's make sure that everybody is clear on everything before the brothers start to enter the medicine. Because you know, I see one thing about Instagram is you know, they come in at the last minute, fully turned up already. By the time you see them, they're fully turned. West Coast Wise said, is that normal? Coach long enough to meet people like them because I've met a few brothers that lost their minds. I mean, I don't really recall it being like that, guy. I mean, it was always see, and let me tell you another thing. This is a little bit of city side mixed in, right? See, craziness, right, develops over time. Like it develops, it deteriorates over time. You know what I'm saying? Like you never see a kid walking down the street in the second grade just talking themselves shit. You don't ever see it. You know, it's by the time and they get, you know, 30, 40, 50, then you see a nigga just walking down the street, just total fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Totally, because these conditions deteriorate over time. You know what I mean? Different stress and trials and tribulations exacerbate them. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these people, they was perfectly fine when we met them. I you know, a couple brothers that I recall, look what, you know, back in the day, they was perfectly fine. Then one day I seen them, you know, different states of different levels of insanity. You know, but you know, recently there's been an increase. You know what it is? See, I seen that you know, there's a couple of things that don't necessarily have to do with us, right? But it's kind of like characteristics of people that's losing their mind. Like people that's losing their mind, they contemplate about God. Like the stuff that they're contemplating, right? A lot of times is the stuff that we build on. You know what I'm saying? West Coast Wise said most of that is drug. I mean, see, listen, I'll be under the, see, not disagreeing with you, but this is what I'm saying. Which one is the chicken and which one is the egg? See, because it'd be the same thing with jail, with people that you went to jail and went crazy. Nah, the nigga was in jail because he was crazy on the street. And then it might have got exacerbated more than that. But you know, a lot of them people, I knew them before they started going to jail, they was already crazy. So the same thing with those drugs, right? Did you go crazy because you started taking drugs? Or did you start taking drugs because you was crazy? You know, the particular drugs that you liked was drugs that made you bug all the way out. So I can't really call. I don't, to me, it's just more crazy people. I don't know if the mental institutions have closed down. I don't know if, but I just don't recall that. I don't recall a whole bunch of people just walking around being crazy, in this level of crazy. It definitely, wasn't just people walking around pushing people on train tracks and shit like that. Now, as Bourne said, a lot of that comes from dudes bringing other sciences into this, and when it don't mix, they can't make sense of it. Again, I still say, you know, they got into all those sciences because they didn't have sense. I just think that the cart always comes before the wheel in these things. That when you see the person acting crazy, then you be like, oh, they crazy. No, he was crazy. And then, you started doing whatever you was doing that exacerbated it. My girl Chris said child abuse and family trauma. I mean, I might could go for that, you know what I'm saying, if I wasn't raised in the 70s. And just, we've had that laugh on here before that, child abuse today was good parenting. You know what I'm saying? what they call child abuse today used to be called good parenting. See, what they call good parenting today used to be called spoiling your children. So, why I'm not making fun, and I do know that abuse is a real thing. I'm just saying that I don't know if it explains this many crazy people. I'm sure that that's an explanation for some. 80s, in the 80s in Newark, hearing a person getting tossed off a random project rooftop was almost normal. Yeah, but that's still, I'm sure it's a little more involved. Somebody didn't pay up, I don't think it was just, I just happened to be, just standing on the roof smoking a cigarette. Dude just came in. You just crazy and pushed me off. Felix Almanzar said, throughout our history here in the wilderness of North America, from slavery to now, all the black man has known is stress and tension. Yeah, but it does appear that people is cracking under it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they're like it is something called stoicism. You know what I mean? And stoicism is like kind of standing your square, standing strong in the, midst of trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? Not, getting mad and losing your focus. You know what I mean? You remain stoic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, everybody might not watch basketball, but if you watch basketball, Damian Lillard is stoic. You know what I mean? Where, he's still, he's the same person. He handles his business even though he loses every time. SW said he works for Children and Family Services. So I guess he's saying that the people in his age group is often, you run into the conflict of, according to the current rules of what you should consider abuse, this is abuse, but then, going by the way you was raised, you kind of like, yeah, I mean, you just, you did flunk every class at school. you did fail every class though, man. You got this letter here, you told the actually teacher. Got a little spanking on the hand. Oh man. Right. Stoic is, remaining sturdy under pressure, poker face and adversity. Yeah, that's stoic. You know what I'm saying? Shaka Noodle said I've been called nonchalant or non-caring because I'm stoic. But people is a lot more emotional just these days, you know what I'm saying? Like just different, atmospheres where you didn't really look at them as very emotional, ciphers that you kind of looked at more as principled, you know what I'm saying, than emotional, is now very emotional. These are she said here, my good Chris, imagine if your parents or grandparents are cripping and blooding. But I mean, if you out there on the West Coast, I mean, I think that's pretty much how it is. If you're in LA, so Wise Prince said his cousin was on meth because he was chilling with white folks and got him on that drug. Now he got schizophrenia. Nah, I'm telling you, he has schizophrenia. And the meth just brought it up. Felix Almanzar said, do you think they're not taught they're not taught how to properly, they're not taught properly how to release the stress or tension? That's why our people are cracking under pressure. I mean, it's possible. I have watched that. That's something that I've considered in terms of like kids don't play. Like you don't just go out. Like back in the days, even dudes like me, up into their 30s, right? You might see them come out to the court and play ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's also one of the things that happened in terms of, because y'all know I rock with the millennials.
Your light is on the bike.
Yeah, I keep again, cut it off.
Setting it off. Just press that in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I ran my alarm over that shit.
But just press that in front of it.
Yeah, the middle one.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, I ran shit. Where was we at? Oh yeah, West Coast was or something. And who said? What was I answering just now? Oh yeah, cracking under pressure. I do think that's the thing. Is that first of all, kids don't go out and play, right? And they're much more pressurized. You know what I'm saying? Like just everything is more, you know, just stuff for them to think about that I don't recall, you know, having to think about. You know, I didn't care if, you know, I got likes on Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and also I think like people don't learn as much problem solving. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the things why you see you know, a lot of people that's from Generation X and they look at the millennials, you know, is that, you know, when you was a latchkey kid, you know what I mean? When you coming home every day by yourself, you know, you got a lot of things that you got to do on your own. You learn to solve your own problems. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, even though, you know, I was being foolish, but when I thought that I invented a way to get in the cabinet, that was because, you know, back then, like what I was gonna do, cry, nobody's gonna answer. You know what I'm saying? You might end up getting beaten for crying for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, today, you know, people just haven't been taught as much implementation. You know what I'm saying? Like you was taught how to do everything, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, if something happens, you know, you gotta deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you gotta learn how to cross the street by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was young, when you was 5, 6, 7 years old, you know how to cross the street. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I see kids 10, 11 that, you know, they never really been without adult supervision. You know what I'm saying? And so of course, you know, if you get, you know, to an older point and you haven't learned how to problem solve, and what you're most likely to have learned is how to medicate your problems away. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, take a pill for that. You know, you a little bit hyped, take a pill for that. You know what I'm saying? You can't concentrate, you need to study in college, take a pill for that. You know what I'm saying? Here, sniff this. You know, that's how people kind of deal with problems now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I do think those are some factors, you know, in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that, you know, that you're not going to explain the amount of crazy people that's out there, at least in New York City. I don't know what's going on everywhere else. So y'all could be talking about a regular problem. I don't know if y'all been to Lexington Avenue. Like if you go on Lexington Avenue, then you would know that, you know, can't explain that with drugs. Yeah, with child abuse and none of that. You know, some of it, you know, apparently the K2 is detrimental to sanity. Yeah, now boy, you remember those? Beating just for crying for no reason. Too much instability out there. Dying breed over here. We ain't getting none of the people yet. It's about their time. I predict in the next 30 minutes, we're gonna get some of our we're gonna get some of the Instagram. I don't know. So is are we saying that Instagram is the medicine room now? Instagram is the medicine room portion. Might have to change the name over there, put a large fruit, parentheses, the medicine room or something like that. All right. Edward Green is over here with us on Instagram today. We got a couple people over here on Instagram. They're waiting for the smoke to start. In the meantime, I had asked already, do we have any questions about the topic? Do we have any questions about the topic of today's live? District 120, that's how it always works. Wise Prince said, how does everyone see the other rules and regulations not mentioned in this lesson? That's actually a good question. Believe that. Hold on, let me put that's also that usually that's a good way to drum up some trouble too. As soon as we put that link in there. Yo, what happened to the wordsmith? The wordsmith came out here and I didn't see him at the rally. The wordsmith comes out here. Comes out here, comes to the class, and then bounced before the rally. That's the second time he did that. Now, Osborne said one of them was keeping the secret that they were allowed to clean themselves up. Yeah, he was out here. I don't know about the weekend. He came to the class on Tuesday. Oh, we had a question over here too. Arabi says Felix Almanzar to make your question a little clearer. Oh. Instagram watch. As soon as you leave, watch the real people come on Instagram. Hold on. I think we gotta try to find people. How you find them? We gotta call people. What was the guy's name yesterday? Oh, this was one of the brothers right there. The other brother, his name was. What's his name? Said he knew one of them. Let's see if let's see if Don Bishop said he knew one of them. Let's see if Don Bishop. Let's see if Don Bishop could call who's the brother's name? I can't remember. Something with a Y. The 28th degree talks about the rules on P-Line. There were still people who were co-conspirators in Mecca. SW said, zombies can be awakened. I feel you just continue to be the living example of civilization. Some will catch on enough to clean up a few bad habits in their own good time. West Coast Wise said, what rules and regulations weren't mentioned in the 28th degree? Felix Almanzar, back in the 70s, there was always someone in the neighborhood who helped you deal with stuff. They didn't do it for you, but they gave you fundamentals on how to succeed. Yeah, I mean, that's life. Yeah, who's the other brother? Oh shit, Daquan from Baychester? Yo, son, where's Bob, man? Hold up, man. Let me see if this is brother right now on Instagram. And it was you, I think it is, man. This is one of the first brothers. We used to go, I used to go by his house even really a little bit before I got the knowledge. But then yeah, when I got the knowledge, you know, he was one of the brothers I used to go by his rest. And yeah, well, at that time, yeah, they was taking me through it. He said the brother name is Allah Born. I met the brother which brother's name is Allah Born? The brother that just came out of jail, or the brother, or which brother you talking about? Oh shit, Daquan moved to LA. No wonder we ain't see you. I wonder what happened to Daquan, man. Oh, is there no sound over here? Why y'all ain't tell me all this time? West Coast Wise, there's no sound on Instagram? I think it's gotta be sound. I mean, I can't hear it. Sounds. You the man, you know that. But what is this West Coast Wise before we jump into this rabbit hole right here? before we jump into this rabbit hole, what is this? Where we going with this West Coast Wise? Okay, here goes Don Bishop right here. Don Bishop, we looking for which brother was the brother that you knew? Which brother was the brother that you knew? Yeah, I don't know why y'all not hearing sound. West Coast Wise, so when he was on there, he was hearing sound. So you saying you don't hear sound either? All right, so let me close this out. I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna close Instagram and open it back again. Let's see. Maybe that's what happened. Can't hear me. Divine Knowledge said, you and I see the same thing. I grew up in the 70s and the laws on mental instability have changed. Back in the days, you was being put in the G building for bugging out on people. Yeah, and the threshold for you was bugging out was lower too. See, that's another thing that's happened. Is that we got a lot of people in their midst, right? Who in this day and time, right? We're kind of being forced to entertain people's insanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, right now, right? Let's say if I just came up to y'all and said, look, I feel like a seal. So I want you to take me down to the zoo. Right? Put me in the enclosure where they got the seals at, and throw raw fish in my face. Let me just catch it with my mouth. That's what I want you to do. What would you say to that? Well, if I went down to the bank and said, look, I feel like a billionaire. My pronoun, my gender is billionaire. I feel like a billionaire, and see, what I need you to do is give me $10 million out of my account that I got in this bank. Because I feel like I got a couple billion in here, so there should be no problem for me to get 10 million. And see, if you don't give me that, then you're dead naming me. You're dead naming me. You're discriminating against me because trans billionaires are billionaires. What would you say to that kind of?
Okay, my name is Seagull. Seagull. Okay.
So, in my opinion, you're going to get more crazy people like that. You're going to get more people because you're encouraging it. So Don Bishop said the guy name is Prolific. He called me right after getting off the live beef and told him he was playing with high explosives. So which one is Prolific? The one that just came out of jail? Do you think some of the people who have mental issues, if they got this knowledge young, it would be different? Nah. 120, 120 don't do that. Nah, that's what things I be want to tell y'all, man. The same thing with this live. Observe these people, man, y'all giving the knowledge. Don't give crazy people the knowledge.
Okay, you receive the paper. Yeah, I'm gonna see. Let me clear this up, right? I just came back from Florida. I've been gone for 20 years.
He said when God wants to destroy the ants, he gives them wings.
My first year back. You understand? And I'm so curious. So I have to make sure.
Felix Almanzar said, as a collective, how do we address the problem? Well, you know, whatever is the people that you see in the society, right, is a product of that society. You understand what I mean? So, you know, a lot of things is about just villain. Yo.
Okay, all right.
All right. So let's see if we can find him by that name. You said prolific. What's I don't even, it's that time. Oh, there you go, right there. Okay. So we see.
You said shut it down. What's up?
9 o'clock.
I respect that. I'm sorry we had to be like God. It's not gonna go out. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's not racist. I'm racist. Okay. But he's racist. You know. He's not voting. He's not voting.
We see what happens. So you just met him when he was in the halfway house, like you didn't know him before that. Yeah, our TV's going into the vaccine here. Yeah, you know, look, all bets is off with that, man. All I can is look, everybody gotta, you know, this is like heat. This is like heat. Where the dude said, yeah, you know, you told the Robert De Niro character, look, I'm rolling with you no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And Robert De Niro was like, nah. You can't roll with me like this. Everybody gotta make their own decision. So the people who you know, took it, you know, I'm not really judging. You know what I'm saying? Because it could get rough out here. You know, but the thing is, it could get rough out here on both sides. So I'd rather stay, you know, high, look, I'd rather go out on my shield, you know what I'm saying, in terms of if a virus takes me out, yes, I mean, that's, you know, how life is. I'm talking about here on the planet, just the whole food chain, yes, I'm saying, you know, whether you a lion, a tiger, a shark, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying, some motherfuckers will take you out too. You know, that's different from allowing you to inject me with something that might take me out. No, the brother that was talking about the dynamite, that was Born Magnificent. Born Magnificent. Born Magnificent. I think that's who he was. He was actually the voice of reason in the last live. The movie Bronx Tale. I mean, it was a good movie. You know, by the time it was made, though, you know, by the time it was made, it's like, you know, the genre was kind of, you know, was kind of mature. You know what I'm saying? I did what I thought about it, and there was a couple of movies like that where it's like, you know, it's not the same when Robert De Niro is playing a good guy. You know, and you know, I mean, he plays the role well and everything, but it's just not the same. Like, what was that movie? Coffee Brown. No, what was that movie that they made with Foxy Brown again? And Foxy Brown was in it. Samuel Jackson was in it, and and De Niro was in it. And it was like De Niro played the role to the rip, but it was just like, it's not the same. Yo, we back to 2 thumbs down. Do anyone see that? Yeah, Jackie Brown. That was the name of the movie.
You looking at it, right?
Rome J.
And that board is incorrect, man. What's missing? Wrong people love.
Hold on for a second.
What's all the other stuff? This day not injustice day. Why he has justice on the board? We're not dealing with prison bill on site, man. We ain't dealing with that.
You know, and let the boss know that Chris is sick. He said, "One y'all, please God, what is right? My cousin. He's sick. He's in the hospital. Please.
How you doing?
Gotta put in a little Mayday right now for some medication. Does anybody have some spirit Thorazine or something? We got a brother out front that might appreciate that.
Cigar.
Come on, man. Who keeps flaking out, man, and taking the thumbs down away, man? Seven 8/3. I thought Pacino. I think Pacino was over the top as an anchor, as an actor. Like I think he's just a over actor that he got some very good roles that was like perfect for him. Like it's some people in some roles that's perfect for each other. Yes, I mean, like if you would have put Sylvester Stallone in all gangster movies, he probably wouldn't have, hit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like how you got, you know, one of the as far as actors and actresses, one of the people that always made me laugh was Talia Shire. Talia Shire was the sister in The Godfather, and she was Rocky's wife in the Rocky movies. You know what I'm saying? And so for most people, you only remember her making those two movies, The Godfather and The Rocky. But the thing is, they were both classics. So Pacino just, that role of Scarface, it was perfect for somebody that's over the top. You know what I'm saying? What was that other movie he was in with the he's out of order, you're out of order. All of those roles was perfect for somebody who's over the top as an actor. But I never really thought Stallone was a great actor. Pacino was a great actor the way other people do. Divine Knowledge said, I see a correlation between what happened in 1972 and now because they removed homosexuality as a mental disorder off the books, and now it's legal, so it seems normal people be walking around bugging out. To me, when they go past the point, but see, it's really still in there. It's called dysmorphia now. And they still diagnose, like to say like, all right, if somebody comes in and they're depressed, right? That might be, kind of like what's looked at as triggered the depression. You know what I'm saying? Is people, rejecting you in society, ostracizing you, what I'm saying, could, lead to, levels of depression. You say you saw Pacino do Shakespeare, the best performance ever. So, maybe he's good on Broadway. I don't know. But in movies, I just really don't like that over the top. I didn't think, Scarface definitely in terms of the movie and the role and the time that it came, you know what I'm saying? I can't, but he's not really, like he got Scarface is very strong entry. Carlito's Way wasn't like that to me. Like he's not in my top 10, dudes that's really like, yo, they in a movie, I'm interested in seeing it. You know what I mean? Like I watched the movie that came out recently about Jimmy Hoffa. I watched that because it had De Niro and Pesci in it. Pacino he's not gonna make me go to the movies. You know what I mean? There's actors that I'm like, I check him. You know what I mean? But not Pacino. Complete, man. Complete, you missed it again, man. I don't even know. See, we didn't get into the city signs in the beginning. You missed it. You missed the city signs. Very interesting. Uh, they, yeah, you could say they masked the diagnosis. You know what I mean? Uh, see, right now there's a level of, like that's kind of still, I guess, the research that needs to be done. You know what I mean? Because that's a kind of chicken in the egg situation too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, are you, kind of which order does what is the real cause and what is the condition? Denzel, I used to be interested in Denzel, but nah, I'm not into Denzel Washington like that either. You know, uh, and then I think Denzel really he started coming into his real super popularity after I don't really watch movies. Like I don't go to movies. Like once they started remaking everything, and it was like, psh. And then what started happening? I started going to movies, right? And I would not only know what was going to happen in the movie, I know what happened in the sequel. That's when I started going. I remember when I went to see the Hunger Games with my daughter. She was, man, you gotta see this movie. So we go to see the movie. As soon as we walk in, the movie starts, I already tell her, see the white girl right there? She's gonna win. No matter how it looks through this, she's gonna win in the end, and the sun is gonna come out and shine or whatever. And then when it started getting to the end of the movie, right? I was like, see, I told you all this was gonna happen. And then she said, yeah, I knew what was gonna happen because I read the book. So then I said, yeah, in the next movie, this right here is gonna happen. And she was like, yeah, I read the book. That's pretty much what happens. So it's not interesting. I mean, The Irishman to me wasn't popular like that. It wasn't like that. But I'm just telling you, I'll take Christopher Walken in King of New York over Al Pacino. You know what I mean? There's lots of other people that they might not be the top name, but I still take them over Al Pacino. Divine knowledge said, based on my understanding, they're saying it's a natural disposition, not a learned behavior. Yeah, because preference is not choice. Or preference is not chosen. That's what they're saying that. But I go with the flow, guy. I go with the flow, when it comes to mainstream society because it's not that's their thing. I go with the flow. So look, if preference is not choice, you were born that way. Look, my preference to not socialize with you that's not a choice. I was born that way. You got to go with the science. Divine. That the signs on it. You know, we have to understand it and only request that they have understanding as well. JR, welcome to the channel. Five Race, I always figure out the plot twist before the movies are over. I can see it coming all the time. Yeah, it's see the kind of the memes in the movies kind of changed in a way, in that way that you're saying too, where and see a lot of that is like the amount of money that they spent. Like I give you a perfect example of a type of movie that I like. You know what I mean? See, Cornbread Earl and Me. The reason I like Cornbread Earl and Me is because how many twists the shit had. Like by the time I saw the movie Cornbread Earl and Me was around maybe 1987 or so. You know what I'm saying? So I have been hearing about this movie, Cornbread Earl and Me, for decades.
That's something good?
Yeah, I'm live.
You live, okay. Please, I can live with you? But I roll niggas ain't live. I'm the rolling. Peace to the God.
Peace.
Okay. Oh, you over here live, fun. Okay. I woke up, I seen, I have a personal cell number on the phone or a number to contact you. You know what I'm saying?
Sit down for right now.
Okay. I know it's about to close.
Hmm?
You know what I'm saying? I said it's about to close. We've got 7 minutes. I know it's about to close 7 minutes. So
Everything's smooth.
Huh?
Everything's smooth.
Huh?
So everything's okay.
I know.
Where we at right now? What was the question was? Mark Dub. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Cornbread Earl and Me, right? Now, here's the thing to me, right? Was I have this it's built up in my mind that this movie is about cornbread. You know what I'm saying? And then the movie starts, you get introduced to cornbread. Yo, cornbread is the man. Cornbread is going to the pros, man. Cornbread is a baller, man. Cornbread is cool. Everybody knows him. And then cornbread gets killed in like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. Like that was a twist to me. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. What's going to happen now? Like, what? See, you ain't never going to see a movie like that. Like, if you see a movie and this person is on the bill they start, you can guarantee that that person is going to make it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Like back in the days, you know, everybody didn't make it. Like when the tough dude got ate up by the shark in Jaws. You know, I wasn't expecting that. I like to see twists like that. You know what I'm saying? I like when it's multiple little subplots and all that going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, to me, Harlem Nights was a good movie for that reason. You know, a lot of other people ain't like it, you know, in terms of the mainstream critics, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it's like, yo, you got all these different plots running alongside the main plot, but now it's not really like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of the themes is just different. Like the people who end up winning, you know, I don't like the lovable loser. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, it's just certain themes that's in the movies that I'm not with that. You said they be telling us what they're about to do. Like, yeah, some things, they put in the movies. But a lot of things is not so much that they already got that mapped out already. But see what it is that once it's in the movie, right, it's been conceived. And now once it's been conceived, it can be achieved. Say your questions about the rules and regulations not mentioned. Yeah, I mean, well, that's which that's a one of those open-ended kind of questions.
I just want to get your math, but I see
Yeah. Come back. I'll be back. I'll be here every Monday.
every Monday.
Yeah.
What's Tuesday? God.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? All right,
Mhm.
for 6 days, get your math.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying you want to take time, put in right now?
Hold on 1 second. Let me deal with this right. I mean, Pacino, I just don't buy him in every role. To me, he is pigeonholed. You know what I'm saying? Like if he don't got a role where he's yelling, it's not good. Yeah, when Cochise died, that's what I'm saying. These type of twists in the movies, you're never going to see that. Like Iron Man is never going to die in an Iron Man movie. You understand what I'm saying? That's the movies that they make now. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther is not gonna die. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's for me is I'm not.
You go later. You can just put your name and your number. Nobody uses my phone for me, but that's my personal cell phone, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Push your back.
You gotta listen, man. You gotta use your phone.
Okay. That's a good call.
You know my name?
I'll forget some stuff.
You know my name. You will be calling me, man.
Huh?
My name is D. Make it simple, yeah.
Go D.
Yeah, D.
D what?
Nah, just make it simple so you can remember it. Just call me D.
Okay. All right, for now, I'm gonna put this book.
Yeah, just put D.
Okay. But see, God, I got some stuff on my phone, right? It is a computer phone. That's why I want you to just put. I want to put your attribute, your righteous name. You know what I'm saying? Not your government name. It's like your righteous name.
Man, that's not my government name.
Yeah.
My name is Darkim.
Darkim. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You want to put it straight out, bro?
Put it how you you gotta put it how you listen. Right now, you're interrupting civilization class, bro. You got the number. Yeah, just yeah.
I know, I apologize.
It's so good.
You was that couple minutes. Well, I came pass over. We got, let's say, I'm popping out, all right?
Okay.
I'll call you.
All right.
Peace. Peace.
See, that's when you know shit is bad. Grown ass man had to get this nigga a wrong number. I'm a grown ass man. I don't have to do shit like that. You see, the only other choice would be me get up, slap shit out of him. Shit's all right, fuck. Let me just get you the fuck out of here. This nigga don't even know my name, so you can call me. Welcome to the medicine room. Oh, man. Shit like that discourages me, man. Make me ready to go home and shit. What's this she said? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. See, when you say kill a lie is 5%, you know, but that's a very that question is like it's almost rhetorical. The lady, the black lady that wrote The Matrix. I mean, did she write a book that became The Matrix? She wrote the script. Like I heard about it, but I don't. I didn't really. Follow it like that. Education of Sonny Carson. Yeah, I mean, Education of Sonny Carson was, I thought it was a good movie as far as the story. And, anytime they make a movie about New York, and it's like, I kind of know the people or the places and all of that, what I mean? That's always a plus in the movie, you know what I'm saying? But, I don't know about the best movie ever. I think we have to think about that one. Ron J said, I definitely believe that movies are not only prepping society, but they also tell you the truth about the past if you know history and can read the signs and symbolisms in them. Divine be wisdom. Why are you laughing? See, don't laugh. Y'all want to laugh. See, first of all, y'all shouldn't be laughing because these people really have problems. Don't laugh. See, that should make things bad. That's how fights happen when you laugh. If something could happen, something could happen. So we have a little, we take a break right now for a little city silence. So you gotta know that something could happen. And the people might have could have let that go. Person might have could have let that go. But see, it's that person that go, ooh. See, I wouldn't let them do that to me, son. Ken did that to me, son. We be scrapping right now, son. If that was me. See, that's the person that make it be a fight. Don't laugh. Oh, to your eye. Is that what it is? It's Halloween? Is it Halloween? I don't even know. It's not Halloween. It's the Wisdom Bill. Ain't it on the 31st? Oh, she sued them for a lawsuit, so I guess she probably wrote the script in. Or did she come with the concept? Like, well, these things get complicated. Oh, they said she wrote Terminator and The Matrix. A Murder of Crows with Cuba Gooding Jr. I mean, Cuba Gooding. I didn't watch Cuba Gooding. The between Boys in the Hood, like after Boys in the Hood, I don't remember seeing Cuba Gooding in no movies. I can't. Like I think one time, like when I woke up in the middle of the night and TV was on, like there might have been a movie that I might have seen the end of or something like that. But you know, after the air punching, in Boys in the Hood, Cuba Gooding Jr. wasn't exactly. Holy shit, that's right. It ain't even October. I'm talking about this. See that's how far out of the mainstream loop I am, but I don't even, I don't even keep track of the holidays. So Bill asked, with all the Me Too stuff in Hollywood, do you see the talent pool decreasing and inevitably imploding on itself due to lack of fresh new talent and original ideas? Well, the two things you said is kind of different because, you might get some decreasing of like established stars, you know what I'm saying, that was already there that was doing that type of thing. But, Hollywood is one of the places where, there's a couple thousand people showing up every day. You know what I'm saying? And out that couple thousand, I'm sure 2 or 3 of them is talented. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the bigger problem is just the lack of creativity. And I think that, when in any kind of art form, there's a, there's a set number of things that you could do and remain in that art form. You know what I'm saying? And then it comes down to what kind of twist you could put on it. You know what I'm saying? What kind of individual flavor you could bring to that thing as an artist. You understand what I mean? So for instance, all the, great artists from a certain time, they have a picture of a bowl of fruit and they have a picture of Jesus, a painting. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of what's happening in Hollywood. It's like, you got certain stories that you're really telling over and over and over. And you might use different characters or whatever, but it's kind of like, ever since I was a kid, right, I noticed that, kind of the odd couple, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a particular TV show that made me realize that, but just the odd couple, Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, Lucy and Desi, this kind of theme, is well, on TV they call it situation comedies. It's certain situations, right, that lend themselves to all types of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Then you might get a twist on it and show like Three's Company, where it's like the odd couple, but it's three of them, so it's more than a couple. But I think in terms of just the stories that they could tell, it's like, all right, at the end of the day, you're gonna tell a horror story or a love story, or an adventure story. And I don't know if they, if it's any more in the tank of that, you know what I mean? Just that in that format. You know what I'm saying? What else are they gonna make a movie about? Shaka Nulu, you said your homie interviewed her on his channel. You talking about the lady that wrote The Matrix? Yeah, I don't think I saw Men of Honor. Yeah, Will Smith. I don't watch Will Smith either. You said you watched Old last night? I don't even recall that movie. The landscape of media is completely different now, where the internet creates a different wave of global mainstream. Yeah, that's what I think that, and that's the type of thing they've been talking about, is that bringing, like, one of the things that intrigued about the movies, right, is that, okay, you already got stories, you got books, right? Now, when you get the radio, it's like, okay, the book was, stimulating you through the eyes. You know what I'm saying? But now you can still read the book and you read the book, but now you can hear it on the radio, now stimulating the ear. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when it gets to TV, right? In the movies, now it's stimulating the eyes and the ears together. So it makes it a more powerful medium. You know what I'm saying? See, now that you got the internet, you not only have the stimulation, right, of the eye and the ear, but you also got feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like, a person can actually affect the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say something in the movie and the star actually know you said it. You understand what I'm saying? Like you could comment on, a page, whoever it is, it could be, whoever's the biggest star you could think of right now. They got a page on Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or whatever where you can interact with them and all that. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that when they come with that next thing, like for instance, I heard they wanted to make something in the movies, right, where uh the smells would come out. You know what I'm saying? Like if whatever's the smell that coincides with whatever's going on in the movie, that smell would be produced in the theater. Said that's a fact. The original black woman wrote The Matrix and Terminator. You know what I'm saying? Did she write books that they was based on, or did she write the scripts and they just took them? Jason Rosario TV. So you said The Matrix was called The Mind's Eye. She wrote the script, which was the first Matrix. Ron J says the last 10 years I have been into movies produced by other countries and Asian countries with subtitles. You know, I'm I kind of do that sometimes too, but I'm almost the opposite. Like in the last 5 years, right? I haven't watched as many of those kinds of movies because I'll be too lazy to watch the subtitles. Like a lot of times, like I'm double time and I'm doing all different things, and it's like, yo, I lose track with the script, and then it's you got to keep going back. If you hear it, it's a little. But yeah, I'm into that too. Though. I used to watch a lot of French movies like that. The British gangster movies be good too. You ever watch those British gangster movies? I think those are good too. Hmm. And I don't. Yeah, I'm not into it. I wonder how the brothers in Africa take the series, like Raising Canaan with 50 Cent. But I think pretty much, everybody looks at, you know, just I think they look at it kind of like a lesson. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you know, it's clear that other, people are mimicking our culture here. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of these movies, when they go to other places, they like handbooks. You know what I'm saying? In America, it's kind of like that too. You know what I mean? With these music videos and everything, they kind of like handbooks to, whoever's the kids that's younger than the person making the video. Because none of that stuff, they not really experiencing. They made a new Candyman. So that's why I don't want to see Candyman again. I've already seen Candyman. I've already read the story behind it. I don't want to see Candyman. So you got a lot said reading aloud is the best. I used to belong to Khalifa of UBUS bookstore in Hampton. Book clubs are a good move. Yeah, I think that's one of those things. I don't know how that's going to come back. I guess it's, somehow the digital, I mean, you got the Kindle and all of that, but it seems like it's kind of peaked out. I don't know. There's a lot of things like that I look at where it's kind of being barriers to a lot of things for kids, like young kids. And so, a lot of good things they can't get into now. You know what I'm saying? Because, like an entry level way for you to come into that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a side note. This is, I guess, a little bit of city science, but we're dealing with city sciences right now. I watch some of these videos, right, where they talk about the issues that the WNBA have getting off the ground. And I think that's one of the issues is that their league started in a time of cable TV. And so it's different. Like back in the days when I was getting into sports, they was all free on regular TV. You know what I'm saying? You could look on Saturday, Wild World of Sports, and see Muhammad Ali, the champ. You know what I'm saying? You can see Dr. J, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know what I'm saying? And so, that was one of the things, Mean Joe Green with the Coca-Cola commercial, like those things that draw the kids to something, and then they develop that love for it at that age that they grow with it don't exist. So, a lot of these things like that, I said all that to say that, things like book clubs, bookstores, I can only think of maybe 2 bookstores that's not Barnes and Noble. Like, it used to be a time where it'd be bookstores back to back to back up and down the block. You know what I'm saying? Homeless people used to sell books. The same people you see walking around, they should sell books and magazines. Like, it was just books all over. You know what I'm saying? What was the store over here that they closed down? That was between the Tree of Life. You know what I'm saying? There's like an entry level to reading that I don't see right now. So you said that she wrote the book in college. What's this? You got a typo right there. I don't understand what that is. She wrote a book called The Third Eye. And so they stole the story from the book, or she wrote the script. How do we see the use of the Supreme Mathematics in the 50 Cent series or the Wu series that's on now? If they tell the New York story, 5% is going to be involved. Like, I don't know how you would tell a New York story that involved the 60s, 70s, or 80s, without using the 5%. What I would warn people against, and if Mega is watching this, I'm talking to you. What I would warn people against is thinking of this as a teachable moment. I've heard this a couple times. See, raising Canaan, they using our math. See, now we got to go by hand teach. See, first of all, How many kids 15 and under is watching Raising Cane? How many kids 15 and under are watching the Wu-Tang Saga? Stop bringing these old ass crazy motherfuckers around here. And so you come around here smiling and laughing, telling me to teach them. No, you teach those crazy motherfuckers. So all these teachable moments, I don't see it adding up. You know, you got one or two people that you want to point to. You know, look, they telling a story. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not going to be right and exact. You know, the only thing, you know, in terms of how I see it, you know, if anybody ever came up and asked me about it, you know, I would tell them, look, movies are fake. Like even the ones that are about real stuff is fake. Like if a person really need me to tell them the truth, then I will. But you know, the people that do that stuff, I told y'all, they hold a special place in my heart as honorary 5%, but they not us. You know, that's the only thing. All this different shit, Jay-Z win the flag, all that shit. Yo, God, tell the motherfucker is doing something that's gonna impress some little kids. I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying? You know, the only thing, you know, I would say to, you know, 50, if I had a chance, would just be that, yeah, you know, we are a real group of people. And you know that the stuff that you presenting in there is not all that we about. Remember when Understanding showed you how to box? So, you know, put some of that stuff in there, or look, if, you know, whatever, however you choose to, you know, acknowledge some of the realism, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you do get to the level of like, you know, yeah, you using our shit to make money. But, you know, other than that, you know, no, personally, I haven't seen it either one of them. I haven't seen Raising Canaan or the Wu-Tang side. But you know, it's, you know, we are part of the world. We are part of the mainstream society. You know, there's people can't tell their stories without us, even people that's not us. They gotta say that. You went to high school, you went to high school. Which school you went to? And you're not gonna mention the guys? Like, think about anything you could think of in New York City. Anything, you know, you can talk about basketball, you're not going to talk about Shanghai. What you want to talk about when you're not going to mention 5%?
Go across street to the store.
All right. So, you know, in terms of, you know, I'm not, you know, upset at anything that they're using. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like I said, also, it's not even in the matter of necessarily to say you giving something to the 5%. Do something for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I haven't particularly heard that. I don't know if he's doing it or not, but you know, I keep hearing about all this money you got and you flossing this in the piggy bank. But you know, I haven't, you know, heard, you know, that the kids of South Jamaica is getting to enjoy, you know, some kind of benefit on the strength of 50 Cent. Yeah, J. Pierre Falling says, can you build on the wickedness about all the killing in movies? Hold on, let me catch up to you real quick. Yeah, Ron J, you do got a point there that a lot of American movies and shows is actually based on British movies and shows. So she wrote the books and then they made the movies from them, yes. Oh, you talking about that bookstore on like 132nd in Lenox? Like 130th and something like that over there? Yeah, I don't think that's still there. So how much did the lady end up getting when she sued them about the movie? What was her, what was, what did she get? How much money? But J.P.F. Fallen said, can you build about the wickedness, build on the wickedness about all the killing in movies? I mean, you know, this is America, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, uh, that's, guns and all of that is just a part of America. You know what I'm saying? For instance, uh, did you ever see, there's an interview with Bruce Lee, and the guy asked Bruce Lee, why is Chinese movies always set in the 1800s? And he said, because, in these days right now, people got guns. You can't just walk up and kick somebody in the face. And they strap. You understand what I'm saying? That's just another product of the society that we built. You know what I'm saying? And so the stories that we tell is going to involve guns. You know what I'm saying? They're going to involve, killing. America doesn't have a history where, there's all these great philosophers like Aristotle, you know what I'm saying, or Plato. What America has is prolific killers. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Andrew Jackson or George Washington or Ku Klux Klan or, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? America is a place that, a lot of what they consider their greatest moments is about killing. You know what I'm saying? Wars, World War II, you know what I'm saying? One of their greatest moments. The nuclear bomb, one of their greatest moments. They got other things like going to the moon. We're not going to get into how you see that revelation. We're not going to go into that, but I'm just saying the kind of, the kind of ethos that exists here in America. You understand what I'm saying? If you see a movie about India, for instance, right? The love story is going to be a little bit different because in India they got arranged marriages. So you're not going to see a lot of movies about arranged marriages in America because that's not the American ethos. You understand what I'm saying? Fighting and killing, the noble savage Indians. Not saying they were savage, but saying that's the way it's portrayed, in the American cultural landscape, you know what I mean? Hunting, how the West was won, with the gun and all that. That's one of my favorite shows, though, actually. There's a show called The Rifleman from back in the time in like the 60s. The Rifleman ain't play. The Rifleman was better than James Dillon. And James Dillon was a bad man. But that's just another product of the society that we built. Just like the killing that's not in the movies, that's in real life, is about the society that we built. Oh, you see Mario Van Peebles? Mario Van Peebles, he got some good ones. New Jack City, of course. Mario Van Peebles used to be in these horrible cable movies back in the days, man. I used to not like Mario Van Peebles, but he did his thing in the end. Yeah, I remember that bookstore. Luke Cage. Why y'all gotta go in on 50, man? Will y'all leave 50 alone, man? Black observation. Oh yeah, L was saying, oh man. Every school in Queens, I done heard cats talking about L's. Yes. Listen, hillside, all over, man. You said it's a little bit deeper than that. Well, way deeper. It's by design. It's the vibrational frequency, the music and media is keeping them on. I don't know what that is. They, I hear them what they saying, but of course I'm biased. But I don't be able to that. Yeah, the interview is in black and white with Bruce Lee, where that's where he's saying that, we gotta make a movie. If you're gonna make a movie about people fighting, you know what I'm saying? And the most, destructive weapon that we have is a sword, that's not gonna work in 1960. So the God I Be said Revolution Books is still there. They still I guess over there on 132nd and Lennox. Shit, America has a history of violent revolutionaries. I mean, you know, that's one of the things where, you know, once the mark gets established, what else do you do? The first people that came over here and took it over, fought for it, what you think you're gonna have to do to get it from them? You know what I'm saying? You know, she settled out of court. Nah, Posse was kind of trash. it just had all the, you know, it had all of the right actors in it, you know what I mean? Big Daddy Kane, Father Time, and all that. It had some good characters, you know, but it was a horrible movie. Yeah, I agree with Don Cheadle. You know, where they asked Don Cheadle about, you know, what's going on with Black Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Why don't they get the investment, you know, as everybody else in Hollywood? And, you know, he's listen, man, you know, a lot of this stuff is crap. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we've come accustomed to seeing crap, you know, bad acting, you know. Look, if you, I'll tell you one of my gauges, one of my things where it's like, okay, it's a movie, you know, even if I'm considering going, right? If there's a rapper in it, it's a bad movie. Just horrible acting. I mean, there's a couple dudes, you know, L can do his thing, you know, but for the most part, it's a horrible acting, man. Dudes like Ice-T, you know, you know, stop. One of the business said you never really hear about how violent the California gold rush was. Yeah, you know, you don't hear, you know, I can't say that I've ever, well, you do hear about people that got they, you know, like dudes that they was doing a prospecting, right? And then they found you know, a nice little vein of gold or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then they go down to the town, you know, I guess San Francisco or wherever they staying over there, you know, somewhere in the Bay Area, I guess, you know, down at the saloon, and they go down there and running their mouth. You know what I'm saying? You down there spending because you found the whole vein, but you took like a bag full. You had like a bag full. You didn't cash that in. Now you up in the town. You paying for power. You buying all this liquor, running your mouth. Yeah, I found what's the name, man? I'm rich. And then niggas follow you up there and then they're rich. And you are no more. You see, I've heard that a few times, but never in terms of how he's saying it, like, no, this whole atmosphere was a certain way. And I think that's significant, right? Because I see that a lot in New York history, just in the local New York history, right? A lot of the areas that you see that's high crime areas, high violent areas, they was also high crime areas and highly violent when European immigrants lived there. You know what I'm saying? But it's never really portrayed like that. You see what I mean? Because one thing that would do, right, is point to the fact that it's something in society, that is something about the conditions in that neighborhood that's producing violent criminals. And it feeds in to the particular narrative that is something about us that's causing that to happen. You know what I'm saying? But you can almost go neighborhood for neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like Brownsville is where Murder Incorporated from the Mafia comes from. Brownsville in East New York. You know what I'm saying? The South Bronx is where the Gambino family comes from. You know what I'm saying? And over there on the east side of Harlem. You know what I'm saying? The LES, the Lower East Side, is also a stronghold for them. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's other areas around the city. I'm just naming a couple. So it says Sophia Stewart, who wrote the movie, got billions of dollars. Billions or millions? Because I'm saying, we're talking about a movie. Did they make that many billions? She said here they are still trying to discredit Sophia Stewart and say her winning the lawsuit is misinformation. I mean, I don't know, whenever that type of stuff comes up, I never know. She said she wrote it, who knows? Mos Def is a decent actor. Tupac What was all the Tupac movies? Because I could really only think of two right now. It was Juice and the other movie where he played with the two white people. Now, here's the thing, about my opinion about acting, right? If you give me a role where I'm a 5% in the role from New York, I win an Oscar. There's nobody. You can get Denzel. You get whoever you want. You get Samuel. They not gonna play no 5% better than me. See, that's why I give most Def credit because he's played some roles that it wasn't just a rapper from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Poetic Justice. I only saw excerpts of Poetic Justice. I didn't really see it, but even that Poetic Justice, that's still like these movies where you kind of play yourself. Same thing with writing movies. Like if I was to write a movie about being a 5%, in whatever years, yeah, that script is going to be Oscar winning. You know what I'm saying? When a dude plays another role, when you play all these different roles and you fit, that's when I could tell you a good actor. Like that's how I give Denzel credit. He plays all types of roles, and is believable in them. You know what I'm saying? You could play a crook in this movie. You could be a lawyer in that movie. You could be just a father in that movie. You could be a cop in this movie. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, if Tupac even has enough movies that I've seen to really say he's a good or bad actor. Do you guys have a room on Clubhouse? Born Church of Making Money or something. Who's Born's name? On here, but yeah, Born got a room. I don't know if it's to be in there that much, but nah, to my knowledge, other than the room that Born has, there's no room on Clubhouse. Tupac was different. See, I don't really want to get into Tupac because most people have so much love for Tupac that I don't even want to get into it. But I wasn't as impressed by Tupac as most other people. Belly was trash. Juice, yeah, Juice was a good movie. They at least, they mixed it in, I thought, nicely. You know what I mean? In terms of enough official actors, you know what I'm saying, to, still kind of build out the story. And, they let people do what they do best. You know what I'm saying? They let Tupac, play a gangster rapper. That's interesting. So you saying that kind of the violence of the gold rush is kind of what made the state of California start establishing their legal code? Luke Cage said, if you make it to town, yeah, Shottas has some terrible acting, terrible. State Property, terrible acting. That's what I'm saying, man. Stop, man. Don't bring these movies up. Like, listen, don't ruin the lady's legacy, man, that wrote Matrix by bringing up these trash movies, man. See what's happening. See, we've gotten used to some of this. Kim Salon said, poverty is the root of violence. Yeah, beans, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know, most of the time, listen, it's back in the days, Eddie Murphy had a comedy show called Juice, not Juice, I said Juice. He had a comedy show called Delirious. You know what I'm saying? And in the movie, he was talking about Elvis Presley. You know what I mean? And the same kind of thing. He was like, yo, Elvis can't act. Where you put Elvis in the movie is just let him sing all his lines. You know what I'm saying? He's like, so what I'm saying is not a particularly hip hop thing. It's that these people aren't actors. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you go to the NFL to draft the basketball team, they're superstars. They're not at basketball. Lady Sings the Blues. I like that one. You know, but again, they surrounded the person with some, people with some chopstick. Dead presidents, I like dead presidents now. You like that? See, dead presidents is like the one-liners in Dead President is off the chain. It's just the scenes in there. Listen to what the nigga said. Yeah, listen. The whole movie would have been over, right? Where he said, yo, he said to the chick, he said, yo, you fucking so. She said, fine, I'm fucking. Yo, so when she said that shit. I like say, you gotta choke out, right? It was the way she said it, man. And then it was the other shit when she came, he said, so wait a minute. You saying he crossed town giving out $100 bills? Word. I'm saying, man, he our friend, man. We gotta help him. Nah, it's not my man. It's y'all motherfuckers, man. Yeah, when the nigga beat the nigga ass, the nigga said, everybody know I got one leg, and you picked the wrong one. Yeah, dead presidents is the king of the one-liner movies. Yeah, I used to have StreamYard. What started happening? It started jamming up, and we started getting like kicked off and stuff. I just ended up trying Zoom, but I actually, what I really liked about StreamYard is that it was easier to put other screens up and everything. Said Tupac, Ice Cube, DMX, 50. Ice Cube, decent actor. I'll give you Ice Cube. But there's some people that you could see, they actually took some time to learn the craft. You know what I'm saying? Right? Okay, above the rim, again, you paying yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you playing these hood roles, that's easy. Like we could all act, if we was gonna do a movie, like if we was gonna just do the West Coast Wives life story, there would be no better person to play that role than West Coast Wives. Michael Davis, welcome to the channel. Spook that set by the door was dope. Yeah, I like Mo Better Blues. That was a good movie. I don't even know what the Sweet Blood of Jesus is. Man. Like G. Do you think one can be a mental slave to entertainment and fashion? Well, that's what it means when it says slave to a mental death and power. You know what I mean? That, slavery is a mental state. You know what I mean? The same way it's a physical state, you have to create certain mental states in order to produce the physical state that people is in. You see what I'm saying? So, a person can literally be a slave to anything. You understand what I'm saying? Once you're allowing that to control what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? When all the benefit of what you're doing is going to, this other outside thing, then you're a slave to that. You know what I mean? That's where you're taking your orders. Yeah, complete. This thing what you said about Tupac, I'm gonna let you say it. He's gonna say it. Look, his 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 kind of love out there is at a very high level. So I'll leave it alone. But I wasn't as impressed with him as everybody else. So we kind of got two versions here. Something where Atif says she didn't get any money from the lawsuit, and we have another who's here saying that she got 180 million. Cameron played Alpo and paid in full. I don't know what's going on with knowledge. Knowledge keep coming on the live. It ain't. Yeah, Pac did go to some kind of acting school. He went to school with Jada Pinkett. Keep saying you're not able to join. Listen, I could play any 5%. Listen, I can even do the voices. I look, I can see it how they say it. Like I can tell you right now, like see, if you're gonna do a scene, say you're gonna do a scene, Dumont building at the rap, I could do it. Say you're gonna do a scene, and I'm telling you, I could not just do it. You got to make it up. You got to give me the script. I don't even need the script. Like just look, go up there. Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Shay. On YouTube, it's Darkim Be AllahChrist. You see the little random Jews picture right there. I know you probably you don't want to be over here in the medicine room. And then you get in the medicine cabinet. That's where Instagram is now. But yeah, I can play any 5%. You know, I could play any any role that I've done in real life. Yeah, I could play that. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I look at when I look at acting. Now I was going to say ignorance is the root of violence. The harder they come, and now you going way back now. I saw it said poverty can't be the root of violence. Some countries are poorer than others, but express less violence. Culture sets the standard for violence. Now I will say this, that it is somewhere in the middle right there. It is somewhere in the middle right there. And you say, can I play a newborn in the knowledge in this day and time? Yeah. Listen, man, if it's a 5% role, I can play it. From the law all the way to the last motherfucker that got the knives 5 minutes ago. I can play it, man, because I've been there. Anybody. I don't even need a script. But I saw, in all the brothers that was commenting on that, see, there is something called the relatively deprived. And these particular people, you know what I'm saying, are historically, they end up becoming criminals. You know what I'm saying? And what that is kind of the middle ground here is you can look at the history of Black people in America, right? And kind of see what I'm saying. Meaning that you have families of Black people that live in absolute poverty. You know what I'm saying? From the time of slavery, Jim Crow, all of this, you had people, families that came straight off the sharecropping plantation to the cities. You know what I'm saying? The difference is that when they was on the sharecropping plantation, everybody was poor. See, even the farm owner was poor relatively to when we got to these big cities. And so now you in the big city and you got to go to work downtown, but now you're seeing all these other things now. See, you're relatively, see, it's a difference when you're in an atmosphere where everybody has nothing. But when you get in a society where you have to be right next, and see, that's why these big cities is like that, because you can have a building, right? Let's say right now you go downtown in Manhattan, right? You got a building where in the front of this building right here is homeless people. There's people begging for money. But in the top floor of that building, you got people making billion-dollar deals. You see what I'm saying? So it is something, not just the money, and not just the society of people. You know what I'm saying? But once you start to have these hierarchies, and that is there's that kind of idea, is behind a lot of things like eugenics and things of that nature, because eugenics, one of the kind of ideas that caused people to want to found a science like eugenics was trying to explain why some people was relatively deprived. Like once it came to the Industrial Revolution, right? And so now you start to get people who's rising through the classes, middle class, upper middle class, you invent something, you go from poor to rich or whatever, you see what I'm saying? And so to explain why that happened, they had to come up with a theory. So the theory was that these people is mentally or morally, emotionally deficient in some way, and so we need to eliminate them from the gene pool. You see what I'm saying? So, that's actually, that topic that y'all discussing right there that's a whole lot. So Ikiru Nakari Zunimori. Is that what kind of name is that? Yeah, that Jimmy Cliff movie was all right. I can't recall the name of it, but yeah, I like that joke. The Wiz, I was too young when The Wiz came out. I can't really judge the straight up acting in it. But I can see how if I watched it again, it might have some problems, with the acting. But they had some people in here though, like Nipsey Hussle, that was some official actors in it. I like deep cover. But like I said, LL Cool J is somebody that you can see he more than likely went to acting classes and all of that, because you could even see, how he developed as a better actor, you know what I'm saying, over the time since he's been acting. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't leave Ice Cube alone all on the business? So the lady, Miss Stewart, that wrote the movie, she said 180 mil, but she never collected. That's see, I think Ice Cube, uh, and that's one thing where I think, you know, Nas kind of got that same thing, but he kind of failed at that. See, Ice Cube, you gotta remember, even his hip hop style, right? His hip hop style is kind of a storytelling style. And so I think he was just successful at being able to translate that over. You know what I'm saying? It's possible that, you know, being from LA, you know what I'm saying, that you know, he was in closer proximity and had more access to people with Hollywood experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember Nas having had something to do, the way I recall it, Nas had something to do with the script for Belly. You know what I'm saying? So I think just his kind of storytelling ability translates well on screen. Shay Bay, you made it over from the medicine room over here on Instagram. I think we gotta reset this again or something because it's yeah, the live keeps freezing, right? You know, I don't know what's causing that. Hold up. Let me come back in. Shit, it's almost time to be out. Almost. So the God IB brought up some here. Get back on a serious note. You know, those that know, we had the rally uh this month on the Wisdom Equality Day in the yard here for the school. And so you know, right now the brothers is you know, the ideas already out there for brothers to add on you know, so where we can build some type of structure in the yard so we can have some protection from the elements, especially, you know, with the winter months coming up. So IB was speaking on that, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you want to add on with that, I know Born Black and I think Divine Prince is the brothers that is you know, they're holding, they're the ones taking the collection so that we can make some type of purchase in that regard. Divine Knowledge said it's a shame that with all the Black millionaires, they can't or won't build a movie studio. No one can tell our story better than us. Well, I think, well, I don't want to sound stupid, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's not very good at telling our stories. But I think Tyler Perry has a studio. You know, I know that that sounds stupid, but I'm just saying this. I'm pretty sure he has a studio. I think he's got his thing like totally integrated. Uh, the problem is he makes crap, you know. Please God, I said, like repel is the root of violence. Well, in the business said there was no California Republic without the gold rush. I did hear about that. Not just about that, but just in terms of, I heard that gold and silver has something to do with like the shape of those states. Like, you know how California, like it comes down and then it kind of shoots over a little bit, like it angles over a little bit. That somehow between Nevada and California, there was also some silver mines. Like you had the gold on the San Francisco coast, but on the other side, you had some silver mines. And so kind of the division of the silver mines, because both states wanted a part of it, you know what I'm saying? But I have heard a lot about how those, you know, between that gold rush and also those silver mines had a lot to do with what what California became. Edward Green said, "How you go about contributing?" Well, let me talk to Born Black and Divine Prince and see, you know, what's their mode of collection. Whether, you know, write a check, cash out, whatever it might be. You know, I'm not on top of that, but I get that information to y'all by at least the next live. You know, the question is. Nah, that's true. The slaves were supposed to get California. All in the business said, if they never found the gold, a rumor has it that free slaves were supposed to be given California. No, that's true. Man, please don't bring up Whoopi Goldberg and don't bring up Danny Glover. Danny Shefflin ass Glover. Mr. Jeffin. Now I can't play Azriel. Oh no, I definitely knew, you know, I definitely, in terms of the violence in California, you know, I definitely would have always attributed that to the Wild West. You know, that's always been my, you know, even people that's what I said, it's the Wild West, man. People I said is they got a little bit different ways of handling things. He says Serena gets a pass. Oh man, that's a low blow right there. How you gonna call treated? How you gonna say Serena Williams is cross dressing? I mean, yeah, I liked the Wiz Edward Green when I was little, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I could necessarily judge the acting. You know what I'm saying? From, you know, as a movie, yeah, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was you know, I've always been into that in terms of the black version, you know. So you said Heavy D was a good actor. I don't think I saw Heavy D in the movie. I don't know. Well, I definitely like The Wiz better than The Wizard of Oz, you know, just because as a musical, you know what I'm saying? I like, you know, Ease On Down the Road better than, you know, We're Off to See the Wizard. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I definitely like the movie better. Like I remember the movie fondly and everything, but I'm just saying to give we got Born Magnificent. Born Magnificent in the building. I see what I got to. But ask I don't know how old I was when Peace. I don't know how old I was when that came out, but you know, to ask me at that age to really judge the acting.
Peace to the dogs. Peace, God.
Let's see, we got argument going on over there. See, we got Born Magnificent over here in the at the medicine cabinet. What's the deal today?
You
Same game was trash.
what y'all feeling about movies?
Well, we kind of moved into movies. You know, we first started out talking about the mentalities of people, you know what I'm saying, and how you could look at different elements of the degrees, you know what I'm saying, and the characteristics that's expressed in the degrees, you would sometimes see that in the mindset and characteristics of people that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, you know, when the degrees tell you about the deserts, you know what I'm saying, and you're dealing with a person who, you know, they don't have the wisdom, you know what I'm saying, that they need to activate to be successful, whether verbally or in some other form, you see what I'm saying? Then, you know, they mindset represents the desert because no fruit is going to come from that mindset. You understand what I mean? And so when you're dealing with that person, right, and you speaking to them and you're expressing your wisdom, right, or that water, you got to know and understand that with that person that you're dealing with, right, as long as they have that mentality, that water is not going to cause them to bear, there's no fruit is going to come from them. You see what I'm saying? Or, you know, when you deal with land that's frozen, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's trapped in a state where it's not kinetic. You know what I'm saying? They got everything that they need, but it's not kinetic. They frozen in that place. You know what I'm saying? Like you might know somebody that is doing negativity, you know what I'm saying? And you telling them, everybody's telling them, yo, you know, you should stop doing that. Yo, you should get out of that. Yo, you know, you already made a certain amount of money. Why don't you invest it in something else? And they stay frozen, you know what I mean, where they at. See what I mean? So a lot of times we were just speaking on how as you building with different people, right, it also makes a difference, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're dealing with this person and you know their mindset is the desert right now, right? See, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of time pouring your water on the desert. You see what I'm saying? You can get them some knowledge and wisdom, right? And then let that soak in. You see what I'm saying? see what change is made, because see, the desert is only going to become fertile very gradually. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you would deal with that person. You see what I'm saying? Or, you know, if you're dealing with somebody that's frozen, right? You got to show them the warm current of the right direction. You see what I'm saying? And then it might begin to thaw. It might, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Or you might be dealing with a person that, because of their experiences in life, right? That they cold. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to, you know, open up to you and whatever it is that you might be saying. You know what I mean? So that's another instance where you got to come with a warm current. You understand what I'm saying? You know, these are the things we do because we the sun. So we able to control all that, what's going on under the sun, right? But this is like a symbolic form, right? Where you can start to reference things in your lessons and understand how this can mean something about dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? There's other things in there. This is some things that I drew up. You know what I'm saying? But there's other things, you know, what is a real devil? You know what I'm saying? Yakub, you know, the devil that studies from 35 to 50 years and is allowed to come amongst us. And the devil that can't be reformed. You understand what I'm saying? All of these is different mindsets and personalities, right? And characteristics of people. You know, some people, they have more than one characteristic. You understand what I'm saying? Where, you know, on the one hand, you know, yeah, you don't have no wisdom, right? But on the other hand, you're frozen in that state of not having wisdom. You know what I'm saying? When meaning like, look, people tell you, yo, read that book or go study that, or yo, you know, you can take this class right here, and then after that, you'll be qualified to do this job or that job. See, they don't have the wisdom that it takes to activate something like that. And at the same time, they frozen in place from doing it. So see, a lot of times, you know, as guys, we run into frustration, right? Because we seeing different people and we like, damn, man, yo, this knowledge is so great. Why people don't see it? Why these people ain't seeing it? You know what I mean? You got to realize the state of mind that people is in. See, because the teacher has a duty and the student has a duty. So just like as the teacher, you got to be equipped and prepared to handle your duty. The person who's learning has to be equipped and prepared to learn. You understand what I'm saying? See, a lot of people, they not ready for the thing, whatever it is that you're telling them. You know, they may be ready in time. So you just have to plant that seed. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that was, you know, the class, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, after that, we flowed into a little more city sciences here, dealing with the movies and such.
So let me ask you a question. I wanted to bring this up about this R. Kelly thing and pedophilia and you know the degrees of pedophilia, because it seems like, you know, people they misinterpret the meaning of that. I mean, well, in my understanding of it is that's like a molester, someone touching little kids. You know what I mean? Like a man or a woman that preys on children. You know, like 1-year-old, 2-year-old babies, things of that nature. It's like, to my understanding, universally, you know, if a woman is having a menstruation cycle, you know, then she's able to manifest seed. She's able to produce children. So, you know, most females, you know, in my understanding, they have a menstruation cycle maybe about 13, 14, 15 in that area.
Now, look, that's how I was getting ready to say that, you know, the See, and now you got me talking about topics. I don't talk about this topic. But look, I'm just saying, right, that I have daughters, right, that may or may not have reached menstruation, the point of, beginning to menstruate well before 13.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if we can necessarily go by that. And then plus, look, here's another thing about age that, I always tell people, right, is that, at 17, right, everybody that's 17 is not the same 17. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some kids that's 17 that they just emerged from the room playing video games. You know what I'm saying? You got some girls that's 17 that, they still playing with Hello Kitty. And then you got some dudes at 17 that been shot a couple times, did a bid. You got some girls that's 17, got 2 kids, live on their own, got their own welfare card and all that. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, you understand what I'm saying? And so when you're dealing with somebody, right, like R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, what you're doing is you're selling people dreams as a deception. See, because what I'm seeing, and I haven't followed the case, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm seeing is that, it would be different. I don't want to say it'd be different, like it still wouldn't, but you're like, these are not young girls that are sneaking into your shows, right? And you having one night stands, after the show. That this is not what's happening. You know what I'm saying? You're, preying upon people by deception. And that is what, just changes the dynamic from what you're saying, where I see what you're saying in terms of, look, if you got a girl that's 16 or 17, right? A dude that's her same age could do the same thing or worse that a dude that's 27 can do. You know what I'm saying? In terms of getting her pregnant, abandoning her, all these things, I understand that. You know what I mean? But, at that point, you also got to look at the fact that in that situation, what was the intention of that person?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, what it appears is that, his entire thing was about preying on people by deception, because otherwise you wouldn't need that many people. You wouldn't need that many moving parts. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be, that many other people involved that, did all these other things to facilitate it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that in and of itself is kind of a sign that you knew what you was doing was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Now, guaranteed, I will agree with this though. It should be a conspiracy case. And a whole bunch of other motherfuckers should be in there with her.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? I will agree with that. But see, also as somebody who has 3 daughters, right? And somebody who, I have programs here at the school that involve the youth, you know what I'm saying? Where people bring their children and lead them, right? I cannot be seen defending child molesters. Now, I don't give a fuck. You can tell me that the white man set you up, and that may be true. If that's it, you know, Bill Cosby, all these people, see, a man in my position cannot defend him. You understand what I mean? So I don't even go into my mind and think of a way how they could be innocent. Like, I can't be involved with that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my personal.
Indeed.
Well,
that's general and personal, though. That's general and personal. It's like why knowledge born? Because people are trusting you with their children. Period.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I can't be seeing.
Like, if why knowledge born? Indeed. You ain't even gotta. That shit is rhetorical right there, because it's like that's a fact. Because if I'm gonna bring my daughter there, I want to know that I can trust you not to be being deviant and doing things that ain't right and exact. Now I understand exactly what you said when you said the deception of it. It's like you're saying, yo, I can make you a star and I can do all these things, and then once you get in my grips, I'm manipulating you to do things with you that ain't right and exact. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't under those circumstances. That wasn't the premise of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you drew them in. It's devilish me, because you telling lies. You know what I mean? That's devilish, because you lying.
And you also got to look at the fact that he established a pattern of it over decades. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be one thing if, you had the situation where you married Aaliyah, and then, but, besides his wife, do you even deal with grown women? Like, I don't know. I can't call it, you know what I'm saying? But all of the
it is what it is.
All of the business asked me if I could play a West Coast 5%. Yeah, I could play it. I could do the accent. You know what I'm saying? This guy say, yo, you going to the park to build. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you buster over there, you think you hard. Yo, how you see today's mathematics? You gotta, yeah, I can play the West Coast guys, right? You talking about. Wait a minute, let me catch up back here in the comments. Felix Almanzar said the duty of a civilized person is to teach civilization to all the human families of planet Earth. We allow the devil to clean himself up, but he will never change. What's the question? Well, technically, that's not true. See, the 34th degree says that all prophets have tried to reform them devil, but was unable to. So they agreed that it cannot be done unless they graft him back into the original man, right?
That's right.
Listen,
It takes 600 years.
Unless it's something different than regardless to whom or what. See, unless means it can be done. It's one of those things where you say, yeah, it can be done. But see, what it would do, what it would take, right, is for you to have a baby with a white woman. See, because don't laugh. That's how it is. See, because if you have a baby with a white woman, right, then that baby is half original, right? And then, so that's 200 years. And then if that baby has a baby with original person, right, then that baby is a red seed. So now that's the second step that's 400 years. And then if that baby has a baby with an original person, now we back to a black, brown, or yellow seed. You see what I'm saying? So you would be wasting your time, yes, I mean, because now you gotta wait these generations to get back to your own self, because she cannot reproduce a mirror image like the original one. She can reproduce a close facsimile thereof.
That's peace, love. That's peace. I mean, you put it in a way where, you know, you could feed the culture, and it wasn't hard to understand. I understand totally what you mean in totality. You put a whole different twist on it, but that was great, brother. I'm gonna keep it real with you, because you know I'm in the nature. The nature of them is such and so forth. However, though, we know understand that the black germ no longer exists in it, but then in the way that you just put it, you know, that's how we can get that black germ back in it.
Yeah, well, I understand. But now, see, now look, now we get to the part where you say, I'm not going to waste time. So instead of losing time, we decided not to fuck with them like that. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, that's where I stand on. You know, when I said that, I'm not advocating that. I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying how we work hypothetically.
Well, I mean, hypothetics.
I mean, well, look, it ain't so hypothetical because yeah, we, you know, people, yeah, people. Look, it happens every day. It happens every day. It happens every day.
That's it. Word is Bob. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Well, I always said it. You know, my wisdom. But you know, I always was like, you know, we bone them out, because that's what it's gonna happen. You know, bone them out. You know, it's like, oh, we're gonna bone them out. You ain't gonna last. You're not gonna last. We gonna bone you out.
So complete said the Wild West way was the same in New York, referencing the gangs of New York. Because that was an interesting comment. But see, you got to remember that a lot of those people that was in the Wild West was the Irish from New York that couldn't make it here because the British already had this locked down. Like by the time, you know, you get the Irish and the Italian coming in the 1800s, the British been here for 200 years. The Germans been here, you know, for whatever period of time before the Irish. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, basically this is all locked down. Like we already own all this land. So a lot of them people that's in the West, yeah, they came right through Ellis Island. What's the name is from New York? What's his name? Billy the Kid. He from New York. Yeah, he's from New York. He made his name out there in the West Coast, but he's from New York.
Is that right?
Yeah, car wash was dope. Car wash was dope. See, those type of movies like back then, though, you're talking about different movies where they didn't have special effects. And so the story had to actually be good. Like now, once a nigga spend, you know, $50 million making the hand fly off the body or something, fuck the story. Did you see that hand flying off your body? Oh, Melo went to the Lakers? Being frozen at 32 degrees is also being stagnant, or slave to a mental death and power. Exactly. 32. They wanted to go back home, but could not swim 9,000 miles because they was frozen in a mind state. You see what I'm saying? They understanding was not complete. Yeah, the Boy Scouts of America and the Catholic Church. My word.
The message is coming up on the thing.
Yeah, we over here on YouTube though. I'm just running through this real quick, and then we're gonna get back over here to Instagram. Yeah, that's oh man, y'all wild, say. Yeah, wow. But so yeah, we caught up over here. So let's come in here. We see what's going on. Yeah.
So you looking at the post that's up there, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at right now on the business. But did no one make knowledge born to warn him of his wicked ways before that man died of his iniquity? Yeah, and just how do you be a part of that shit? I'm saying, like, how do you be in the house? Like, if I'm in the house, you come in with this 15-year-old, I'll get the fuck out of here at the very least, right? Like, I'm not going to know nothing about this story. And what the fuck is? I don't get it. Like, that type of shit don't go on around with my block where I came up at. You know what I'm saying? I have to listen. I remember one day I had to tell my cousin, man, to go ahead, man. Listen, my biological cousin, I had to tell this nigga to get the fuck on from around me one time. Cause this nigga talking about, yo, it's like 2:30, school about to get out. I gotta go pick up my girl. Yes, your family. No, I'm not. No, I'm not riding with you. I'm not. What? Yeah, I don't understand that. How that conversation goes down.
I mean,
Knowledge. Whoever's knowledge 4913 is stupid. He said whatever paper you use in the copy machine is what color the copy gonna be. Yeah, I gotta stop y'all now. Man. I gotta stop y'all now. Y'all going up the deep end. Before we need any more medication up here. But listen, we in the medicine cabinet, most definitely. Yeah, I gotta send for some more medication. You know what I'm saying? Without question. But look, everybody that made it this far on the live, do the Each One Teach One, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, and you like some of the things that we went through, hit the subscribe button. you know, definitely hit the notification button so you can know when we go live. That's what we do over here. You know, we're gonna try to make it live tomorrow. We definitely gonna focus in on the medicine cabinet, being that it's not it's not a class day. You know what I'm saying? You know, other than that, we're gonna sign off from the channel formerly known as Hotep, aka the G Building, aka the Medicine Cabinet, aka Street Science Central.
Peace, Allah. Peace.
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 I mean, that's an issue right there, divine knowledge. You know, divine knowledge brought up that if you saw him bring this underage girl in, that yeah, according to the law, you have some kind of obligation to report that. But you know, see, like with most things though, too, people know who to play with. Ain't nobody gonna do that around me. You know what I'm saying? People know, you know, with everything. Like, you're gonna smoke some crack, don't come about me. Sure, you know. The rabbit hole, yeah, we might, I don't know, do we need, how do we work that out? Should we do, because I noticed that's different people, they got different channels. They got like a couple different channels. I don't know if I should put this on different channels. I don't think I'm at that level though. You know, time you start branching out, I think you should. But you never know though. You know what it could be? See, if we do one of those other channels, right? And we focus on a particular topic, right? You know, of course, mathematics is going to be included in anything I do. But if we focus on a different topic that, you know, is attractive to a different group of people, right? And then we use them to, or I use that channel to funnel them over here to the main medicine room, medicine cabinet. We'll see. You know, so the G building has a lot of floors in it. So it might work out that way.